Welcome to Under Two Capes and happy holidays. I'm Jared.
I'm Lad.
All right. So, something happened recently that kind of inspired our little episode we're doing today. So,
Yeah.
it's Thanksgiving, and Zack Snyder posts a photo on Vero. It's actually a video of him zooming on a turkey. And in the background, it says like absolute final crisis. So we're covering Final Crisis because apparently this is supposed to be one of the main inspirations for Justice League 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So we're talking about one of the most confusing crises of all time.
Right. And can you explain a little bit to me and to the viewers, like, what does this post by Snyder here mean potentially? Like, what do you think?
What I think now, nothing's absolute. I'm not saying it's 100%. I'm not saying it's 100% the other way. I just want to put that disclaimer in there.
Breaking news: Under Two Capes confirms Justice League Part 2 and Part 3 coming December 2021.
That would be hilarious. He had them all on his laptop the whole time, all done.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what this could mean, what I think it means, is that he's hinting to us that he's had conversations with like Discovery, and they're saying, "Go ahead and make your Part 2 and Part 3."
Yeah.
Because as we know, they're not going to announce anything until the merger is like done. But what I think is happening is that they're trying to get things like rolling with all other creators. They're trying to like lock them down. And then they say, "Hey, Snyder, we'll give you total creative freedom. We'll move those people that annoyed you out to other projects, and you can just do as you please. Make your other movies. You're all good." That's what I think is. I think, and plus also he put a caption of "thankful."
Right.
So I'm thinking he probably just got the go ahead, because let me put it this way: he was hit. Zack is known for, I guess, Veroing. I'm trying to figure out the right way for like tweeting on Vero. Cryptic stuff before a big announcement, i.e., the Snyder Cut.
Right. And you were telling me before we started that Zack put like little cryptic messages out before he announced the black and white photo for Justice League, his cut of it. So this could be the early hints that Justice League 2 and 3 is at least being discussed with Warner Brothers and Discovery and all them. So
because personally, what I would like this time is for it to be a series, a weekly series instead of just one movie. The reason why I wanted that as one movie is because we have been waiting 4 years for that movie.
Right.
Whereas if it's a series now, first off, he doesn't have to worry about. Well, he still doesn't have, if it's released on HBO Max, he still doesn't have to worry about like runtime, but it's easier to justify someone watching it as it's a series instead of 1 4-hour movie.
Right.
So that's why, once again, I think it should be a series this time with the option to watch it as a movie as soon as the last episode comes out. In other words, make it a weekly series so you have like conversation going.
Okay. That's a good idea.
I really hate it when Netflix makes a series and they just plop the entire thing on there. I'm like, no, stop it. So, yes. So we're talking about a Final Crisis. Now, to explain, all right. So, for those of you that don't know, every like 4 to 5 years, DC does what's called a crisis, which is some reality warping event that like changes the continuities in certain ways. By the way, this was the last crisis before Flashpoint.
Okay.
So unless I'm missing something, which I don't think I am. So
right. Yeah. We had the 3 main ones.
Crisis Infinite Earths. Infinite Crisis, and then Final Crisis. Those are the 3 main ones. There are a few that are like there's like 0 Hour Crisis in Time where Parallax shows up, and then there's like Identity Crisis, but that's not really a reality warping event.
Yeah.
But The three main ones, the three trilogy are are those three.
Mhm.
So and you'll see full on why this seems like it would be the inspiration for Zack Snyder's Snyderverse. So, lad, do you have any questions before I go into it?
No, yeah, let's jump in and learn a little bit about this awesome event and maybe talk about how it could tie in with the theatrical movie or HBO Max.
Or streaming. Most likely it would be streaming.
Mhm.
Okay, so share. So can you see this, lad? Hey, hang on. It's blank right now. Okay, so now can you see this? Can you see Green Lantern? All right. Final Crisis by Grant Morrison, one of the greatest comic book writers of all time. All right, so we open up, we see a prehistoric man visited by Metron. Metron is a new god who sits on the Mobius chair and basically is imbued with like all the knowledge of the universe.
Yeah.
We saw him actually when we covered Darkseid War.
I remember that guy, the guy in the chair. He was pretty cool.
Now, lad, let me see if you remember this. Why is this chair called the Mobius chair?
Because the original seat warmer was bench warmer was Mobius.
Now, who is Mobius?
The Anti-Monitor.
Yes, there you go. Good. I'm proud of you. You got it.
Yes. There we go.
That was a retcon in the new 52.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then what this is showing is that Metron actually gave humankind the knowledge to make fire.
Nice.
See, he's like, here is knowledge. I'm just going to cast a spell. Knowledge spell.
Nice.
So then mankind fights and then burns people. And then, okay, so now we get to modern times in Gotham. So we have Detective Dan Turpin. He's just walking around the Metropolis docks, and all of a sudden he sees a dead body. And who should be that dead body but the new god Orion?
Oh.
In other words, Darkseid's son.
Oh, wait, Darkseid's son?
Yeah. Because remember, in what's the one? In Darkseid War, we saw that scene in the very beginning where it shows Darkseid and Highfather trading sons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Highfather's son, Mr. Miracle, went to Apocalypse, and Darkseid's son went to New Genesis, which is basically heaven and hell hell and heaven respectively.
Yeah.
So Turpin shows up, and then Orion starts to like babble. He's like, he's in you all. We're like, what does that mean? Oh, and notice, so lad, who do you think this guy hanging out here is? It's a character that has shown up in the Flash. Kind of.
Adam?
Not Adam. I want to see if you know who this is. It's a character that has shown up in the Flash and Legends, as a matter of fact. I think they referred to him as this character.
Steel?
Not Steel. I'll give you a hint. He's a speedster in the show, or former speedster.
Wally?
Notice the color scheme on this character's armor. Okay, he's the Black Racer.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, that's the Black Racer. And you remember the Black Racer from Flash because after Zoom, the dude in black armor with blue lightning was like messed up by time. He was turned into the Black Racer and he hunts down dead or like dying speedsters.
Right.
Because remember in like Legends, I think he was going after Earbard.
You're right. Yeah, now I remember that.
Okay, so that's who that is. He's around wherever a new god's about to die.
I see.
Or dies. So anyway, we cut to also, there's like red lightning in the sky. And who's this character that they refer to as John? Oh, wait. He's a Green Lantern of section 2H14, and his name is John.
Diggle.
Not Diggle. It's Stewart.
Stewart.
By the way, didn't they say that like Diego's like father's name was Stewart or something like that. Somehow
Yeah.
they linked it, so he's actually John Stewart.
Yeah, his surname is Stewart, his dad. So
I swear, if he becomes Green Lantern in the show before we actually have a John Stewart in the movies, I'm gonna be pissed. So anyway, John Stewart shows up. He's responding to the death of this new god.
Yeah, that's like a very serious situation.
Yeah, and you see all this red lightning. By the way, so this person, this is Renee Montoya, otherwise known as the Question. So she says, she tells Turpin, okay, you have to go to the Dark Side Club. That should be okay. So I have to like put in a little bit of context here because this is following a key storyline that's going to explain this plot point. Previous to this, there was a war on New Genesis against Darkseid's forces, and Darkseid's forces were like killed off. We thought, but what actually happened is that their spirits were sent down to inhabit human forms. Hence, the Dark Side Club.
Nice.
No one's put it together yet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys must be horrible detectives. So anyway, Hal Jordan shows up and they're investigating a crime scene. And then Hal Jordan goes, okay, you alert the JL, I'll alert the Guardians. So on Oa, the Guardians are like are part of the investigation. And then we have all of these super villains like Mirror Master, which are basically, I believe, like the Legion of Doom.
Right.
They're fighting Dr. Light. And then we have the Justice League shows up. And then they're and by the way, this is the JLA that's led by Black Canary. In other words, this is one of the recently established team lineups.
Okay.
I mean, relatively recently.
Yeah.
That's why you have like Red Tornado, Red Arrow, Hawk Girl, Mari, Black Lightning. So anyway, the Legion of Doom is meeting. We have like Orm. I think that's Vandal Savage, Gorilla Grodd. I love how fat Gorilla Grodd is. His guts like hanging out here.
Hey.
And then this is apparently someone named Libra. I've never heard of him. So anyway, he takes out this sword and burns Martian Manhunter, who was disguised as as the Legion, as the bad guy.
Oh, okay. So they had a little sneaking in there.
Yeah, and then by the way, this is when Martian Manhunter dies.
Really?
Yeah. He doesn't come back until Brightest Day when they brought all the heroes back.
Wow. So he just like dies here just casually?
He just dies casually. I think it was actually it was Blackest Night where they were brought back at the very end of that story. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
We will be covering that storyline soon because that storyline's amazing. So
right.
So this dude walks into the Dark Side Club, and who do you think this suspicious dude is with glasses? Who's in the dark?
Hugo Strange?
Dark Side.
Oh, okay.
His body is inhabiting like this guy. They call him Boss Darkseid.
Nice.
That's really like really on the nose, man. You're not even hiding. See, he has the red eyes.
Oh, that's scary.
And you see he's controlling these children. When they have red eyes, that means they're under the control of the anti-life equation.
So he has the anti-life equation by this point, or?
Yeah, pretty much. So now the Justice League have a meeting to decide what's going to happen. And then also we have these Alpha Lanterns. Now, in the middle of Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run, so it was established that the Owens wanted a way to police the Green Lanterns themselves. Because apparently, because one of the Green Lanterns actually killed someone, and that's kind of a no-no. So anyway, they established the Alpha Lanterns, which are basically robots. They basically robotify someone and turn them into like basically the internal police force.
Yeah.
So the Justice League going full alert, and then we also find these beings called monitors. You remember monitors from any of the DC crises recently?
I thought there was only one monitor.
No, there's not. There's a race of monitors, and they
What?
and they air quotes monitor the multiverse.
Okay. So Celestials then.
They're not Celestials. Are you kidding me? That's Marvel.
So there's only one anti-monitor then?
Yeah, there's only one anti-monitor because he's from the antimatter universe.
Okay, got it.
So anyway, one of the monitors is exiled for the failure on New Earth, and then we see apparently this caveman is living in like a Planet of the Apes town with the Statue of Liberty in the background.
Yeah, what's going on there?
This is a DC character named Commandy, the last boy on Earth.
Oh, I remember him from Batman Brave and Bold.
Yeah, that's pretty much what that is. So then this monitor wakes up and he's just a dude.
So why are all these like, high level beings being turned into humans then? They're just like inhabiting their bodies?
That's what happens, I guess. With Darkseid, because their beings were like their bodies were destroyed, and like I've said before, what you see of Darkseid is just his avatar.
I see.
He is the closest thing to a god, so you can't actually kill Darkseid. So now we're on Final Crisis Part 2. So we cut out. There's like a lot of pandemonium going down. We cut into this bar where there's apparently a battle. A bar fight goes on. Boss Darkseid shows up, and actually, I'm trying to see. Is that on stage? They call me. Actually, this dude is actually Mr. Miracle.
Oh,
and he's got the mother box. Oh, I know what this is. This is apparently a wrestling arena where people dress up like superheroes.
Nice.
I'm like, okay, I know. So next, by the way, we see this dude. He's this is that monitor in human form. He doesn't know who he is yet, but he's drawing out all of these drawings of like Superman from the Nazi Earth. There's one where Superman landed in Germany during World War II and then became a Nazi.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of multiverse Earths that are interesting things. So the Justice League has a nice funeral for John Jones.
That's so random that they just killed him like that. Like he was killed by like really casually.
Yeah, this was them like saying, okay, everyone can die. They're trying to establish stakes.
Right.
I like this monologue by Superman. He goes, John Jones was my friend, always there, always strong, always reliable. He was someone I could confide in, someone who understood what it was like to lose a world and find another. So then we cut to the Justice League, and they're examining the body of Orion. And then what we see is, so he returned to the crime scene, and John Stewart and the Lanterns are doing their own thing to try and like figure out what's going on. Then all of a sudden he's attacked by something in green.
Okay.
So you would think it would be a lantern that's attacking him. So anyway, Hal Jordan is arrested by the Alpha Lanterns for attacking a fellow Green Lantern.
Right.
Oh, by the way, here's a little something that's funny that I just noticed. His alarm clock digits are green.
He has to have that color theming.
A little on the nose, Jordan.
So these are like the robots that will police the lanterns, right?
They're basically cyborgs, yeah.
Got it.
And they get their power directly from the central power battery, so they don't have to power up at all. So then what we see is one of the Alpha Lanterns attacks Batman.
Oh.
And then it turns out she kidnaps Batman and takes him to Apocalypse. As it turns out, the Alpha Lanterns were taken over by the anti-life equation.
Oh.
This is it
Terminators.
starting. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know what? I never thought of it that way. And then we see Batman's apparently hooked up to a machine. This is going to be explained later on in the story. So anyway, now we see is at the Daily Planet. Clark Kent's there. He's hanging out. All of a sudden, this clay monster impersonates Jimmy and blows up.
Oh.
Injuring Lois Lane. So obviously Superman's kind of having issues right now.
Yeah, he's going to be really upset.
So anyway, Jay Garrick and Wally West, this is Wally at the time, are running. Yeah. They're helping out with the investigation. Anyway, so what they see is like the Mobius chair comes out. Now remember, this is very important. The Mobius chair comes out, and then all of a sudden they hear, Wally, Jay, run.
Oh.
And then we get the actual return of Barry Allen.
Yeah, and look there's one of the
Black Racer.
I forgot to go. Speed Wraiths or something like that.
Black Racer.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, it's not a time race. But anyway.
Time race, yeah, that's just thinking.
To establish why this was important at the time. So Barry Allen died in Crisis on Infinite Earths. Sacrificed himself to save the world, to destroy the cannon that was going to destroy the Earth. It was teased that he was alive in Infinite Crisis when they were trying to push Superboy Prime into the Speed Force. He comes out and grabs him and pulls him in.
Right.
This is the first time he's actually returned to continuity.
Mm-hmm.
And he's chasing this weird bullet.
Yeah.
This will also be important later. So now and that's the cliffhanger for this issue. Can you imagine when this first came out? You see it ends with Barry Allen alive.
Right. That is like insane, like having Barry coming back. I mean, it's been like 20 years or something.
20 years of him actually being in continuity, because it was hinted that it was shown that he survived when he pulled Superboy Prime in, but he wasn't actually on Earth now.
Yeah.
So anyway, we pick up with, by the way, here's Frankenstein. He's a DC character.
Ooh.
Here's Renee Montoya as the Question, the face mask thing.
Yeah.
And then, so what they discover is, so they're still investigating. Also, we see Overgirl. Overgirl is Nazi Supergirl.
Yeah.
She came forward, and then I don't speak German, so I can't actually read that. So then I'm kind of skipping around a little bit. So now they're recounting the fact that Barry Allen is alive. Then they ran, and then apparently they were chasing that Speed Force bullet, and because of time travel, they arrived just in time to see Orion get hit with that bullet. Because that's a bullet specifically designed to kill new gods. That's why it killed Orion.
Not so godly anymore.
Yeah, and then apparently the Black Racer was fine not pursuing them anymore, because as long as it can take one life, it's fine. Orion happened to be that life.
Oh, snap.
Then at the Legion of Doom's headquarters, which looks like Darth Vader's helmet.
It really looks like that. I thought
it really looks like Darth Vader's helmet. It really looks like that.
Oh, man.
Someone was clearly inspired by Star Wars.
Yeah.
Let's get my water bottle. So anyway,
no.
When the Legion locker room, yes, they have their own locker rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And they start seeing some weird helmets.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that then like Libra and a few of the other villains turn on Lex Luthor.
Okay.
And then the student in the helmet is like, judge others, enslave others. Anti-life justifies my hatred.
So
we're seeing the anti-life equation is spreading.
So how is this spreading, like this virus or anti-life equation thing, and people are just they lose all free will, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Man, so everyone's being poisoned by the anti-life equation. We're seeing heroes, we're seeing villains. A lot of crazy stuff going on right now. Something is going on here. Darkseid's vibing at his club.
Mm-hmm. His club. He's listening to some techno music.
Yeah.
So Superman has to stay with Lois Lane until this multiversal being shows up and says, Superman, you must come with us to save the multiverse. He's like, all right. So then the Alpha Lanterns bring Hal Jordan into the league to investigate him. And then he's taken off to Oa. Now is the idea where, so they brought up, so League's like, we need an army because we're being picked off one by one.
Yeah.
So Alan Scott, because remember that this is in the continuity where the JSA exists. So Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern, goes, there was this idea in World War II where we would draft every superhero into service. So they do that. They activate, they basically, it's called Article 10. They basically draft Aquaman. They draft Freddie Freeman. Yes, that's right. Shazam's brother. And apparently he has a tiger butler.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't understand that, but okay. And we see Supergirl's taking off. Black Canary and Green Arrow are getting dressed and moving out. And then they have their army, which we have let's see, who do we see here? We see Our Man, we see Red Tornado, we see we see the JSA, we see Firestorm, Blue Beetle.
There's that one, the guy next to, is that Batman in the back? Or the guy to the right, a little to the right of, no, yeah, the guy that's to the right of him.
That's Orphan.
Oh, okay. No, the one in the orange. The one in the orange.
This one?
What's his name? Yeah.
I think that's Metamorpho.
Yes, that's him. That's him. Yeah, he's a cool character. I recognize him.
Yeah, he was in JLU, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Firestorm. I think that's Raven in the back there. Yeah, they got a lot of superheroes here.
Yeah, they basically drafted everyone.
Right.
All right, so then this plane is blown up. And this is the plane that was run by Mr. Miracle. Remember, all the new gods are inhabiting human bodies.
Yeah.
So they're being attacked by more of these guys in these weird helmets. Then they leave, and then so Wonder Woman shows up with a couple of soldiers that are apparently riding dogs. Oh yeah, these are, I believe, Amazons riding giant Dalmatians.
Nice.
And then so they see a lot of the there's a lot of dead here, and then all of a sudden they see an evil version of Mary Marvel.
Okay.
In other words, Shazam's older sister from the movie. And she's being controlled by the anti-life equation. And apparently they may, and then apparently, so what happens is, and then so Barbara gets a computer email that opens itself, and then it opens up, and then but Barbara's like, oh no, pull the plugs on the internet, shut down the internet before it's too, and then the screen turns off. And then Barry and Wally come out of the Speed Force, and they're in the modern times.
Yeah.
And then what they see, they're attacked by the female Furies. What do you notice about the female Furies, lad?
It's Wonder Woman, Batwoman, and
Catwoman.
Not sure. Catwoman.
And
what
Giganta.
And Giganta. Okay, that yeah, you're right.
The anti-life equation.
How is everyone just being affected like this? This is are there no psychics?
It's gonna be explained in the next issue.
They have to have some psychics on the superheroes side, don't they?
So what happens is, here's exactly what happened. Darkseid broadcasts the anti-life equation on the internet.
Oh no.
So everyone that's looking at a phone, a computer screen, any type of screen whatsoever, gets the anti-life equation.
Well, then.
Yeah, it's not good. So then the league is like, hey, we got to get out of here.
Oh.
So yeah, we get this awesome battle. We see Boss Darkseid is turning into Darkseid.
Yeah.
And there's a massive crowd in front of the Hall of Justice. These are all the anti-life equation control people. And then so this is the superhero roster right now that they have available. It's like capture. Corrupted means they're under control of Darkseid.
Yeah.
We see like so Martian Manhunter is deceased. A lot of these people are like MIA. In other
Batman? Where's
you
Batman?
notice,
Oh, yeah.
you notice a lot of the heroes that could do something about it are captured.
Yeah.
Or like incapacitated. Yeah. Then the league decides, okay, we have to start fighting back. So they do hit and run tactics and stuff. So Barry and Wally are like hanging out, and then they're attacked by the female Furies.
Right.
And yeah, so by the way, Wonder Woman as a Fury is genuinely terrifying.
I can't imagine.
So then the league basically uses these teleporter tubes with the Ray and trying to figure out who the silver guy is to get to get the remaining league members off the to the watchtower station. So they succeed, and then Green Arrow stays behind to hold them off. And then Black Lightning shows up, and so what happens is the helmet broadcasts the anti-life equation to you.
Oh, okay. So they can use the helmet to control them.
Yeah, that's why you see like Black Lightning has it on. They're putting it on Green Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, if you have the helmet put on, you're under the control of Darkseid. Then next, we see this massive battle going on. You see, your job is to live and die for Darkseid. So isn't this kind of reminding you of like the nightmare verse of Zack Snyder's movies?
Yeah, this is like going insane really fast. Like all of a sudden the world's just getting taken over. You're right. This does seem like some of the nightmare scenes.
That's what I think happens, because apparently, I'm going to take a pause from Final Crisis real quick. Apparently what's supposed to happen in 2 is that so the Legion of Doom is formed and Lex Luthor is operating in cooperation with Darkseid. So basically what it is that Lex Luthor made a deal with Darkseid that if I help you find the anti-life equation, you'll like let me rule. Spoiler alert, it doesn't happen well for Lex Luthor. So anyway, Darkseid gets the anti-life equation, kills Lois Lane, exposes Superman to it, and then exposes the world to the anti-life equation. That's why you have those Superman soldiers in like BVS.
Yeah.
Oh, and apparently what this shows you how Zack Snyder hides stuff in his movies. One of the people shown in that scene, in that nightmare scene in BVS, was Carrie Kelly, the Batgirl from Dark Knight Returns.
Really?
Yeah, I'll show you the picture in a second.
Yeah, you gotta show me that.
So anyway, here's interesting. So Iris West is under control of the anti-life equation. To free her, Barry literally kisses her and shocks her with the Speed Force.
Ha, nice. Speed Force kiss.
I guess that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. It's like shocking her.
He used the power of love. CW would love this.
Oh, they definitely would. Isn't there a character like in the Flash team? So her name is like Allegra and her power is love?
Something like that. It's newer season. I'm a little rusty on that.
Yeah. I love how people are like commenting, by the way, on that episode going, it's finally a Flash show with the Flash.
Yeah.
And so anyway, Mr. Miracle is also taken down. And then we see Darkseid's pretty much taken over.
I don't understand. The superheroes have like established teams and they have lots of mystic and psychic people. How did they not see this coming, that all of a sudden they just got overwhelmed with the anti-life equation and Darkseid's forces and everything? Like, what's going on? Didn't they defend the Earth before?
Well, they did, but they let their guard down.
I see. I mean, I guess they weren't I guess they were expecting like an army not to be like destroyed from within by the anti-life equation.
Because notice, Darkseid did not like show up and just like
Right.
like he did in Justice League Origin. He showed up covertly, worked behind in the shadows to not draw the league's attention until he knows his plan will work, and then just broadcasts the anti-life equation and then takes over the Justice League.
Good plan, I guess.
That's a very good plan. So anyway, Hal Jordan is on trial for attacking Jon Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see, let's see. It's easy when we reach such a parade. So eventually, one of the Alpha Lanterns is actually discovered to be being a Darkseid and is destroyed.
Okay, finally, someone's doing something good.
So and then Hal Jordan breaks out and then starts doing what Hal Jordan does best, and that's being a Green Lantern. And then he says, you have 24 hours to save the... I love this. Hal Jordan, you've been cleared of all charges. You have 24 hours to save the universe, Jordan. I'm like, oh, no pressure. Thank you.
Yeah.
So anyway, back on Earth, it's not turning out so well. So we see this battle, this bunker. We see the female Furies are in their little area getting ready to roll out. We see Darkseid. And then Wonder Woman puts on her mask. Yeah, it is Darkseid. Wonder Woman puts on her mask. And then they ride out. By the way, just so you know, this whole the tagline of this event is what happens when evil triumphs.
Mm-hmm.
That's why evil won. So anyway, you see all the superheroes are starting to resist. They're trying to. Trying is the operative word. And then we see like all the heroes just trying to mount a resistance. It's not turning out so well. And let's see. We see more people fighting the anti-life equation forces. I love this. So Mary Marvel's about to go take out Supergirl, and then Black Adam shows up and just tackles her to the ground. By the way, I am so excited for the Black Adam movie.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty cool.
I'm so excited. It looks so cool. Apparently, first off, he is trying to get a Henry Cavill cameo.
Yeah, oh, that'd be really great.
All I want is Black Adam versus the Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
I have to differentiate it now because currently the version that's canon to the DCEU is Craptus League.
Yeah.
So even though there's been articles published, by the way, of people saying, well, the fans recognize that as the canon version.
Right.
So anyway, it's basically a lot of fights. And we see, by the way, one of the monitors is the monitor guy is reminded of who he is. And then let's see who else. There's public executions. Darkseid is all set to rise up and attack people. And the Green Lanterns show up and they're trying to get. So basically, what happens is the Lanterns had kind of. The trip from Oa to Earth is like used up a lot of the energy for the Green Lanterns, so they have to actually free fall into Earth.
Oh, okay.
Like, oh boy, here we go. So, and then again, Darkseid emerges and starts attacking people, and then everyone's like, oh, "Die for Darkseid! Everyone dies for Darkseid!"
Yeah, that's so cool. That's interesting.
And then the Monitor finally remembers who he is. So now we're up to issue 6 of 7. We're not going to cover any of the tie-ins because that would take way too long.
Right.
Maybe we'll do that in like a subsequent episode, depending on how good this one does. But we'll see what happens.
So Batman is captured right now.
Yeah.
And Superman flew off somewhere.
In 2 of the tie-ins, it shows he's trying to save the entire multiverse, which is collapsing because of Darkseid. Because the way the multiverse works is there's a certain order of things.
Okay.
And at least in the positive multiverse, I believe the way they explain this in the story, I could be a little fuzzy, is good supposed to triumph over evil.
Yeah.
Disturb that, and the multiverse starts to unravel.
Okay.
So next, oh yeah, here's a scene that. So this was one of the you're gonna love this one.
Yeah.
This is one of those very comic booky moments. So what happens is there's this machine. It's called the Miracle Machine, where basically, so basically tells Superman, okay, just look at the machine. So the idea is that Superman has a photographic memory.
Mm-hmm.
And that I mention this now because that machine is going to be important in issue 7.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those comic booky moments where you're like, really? All right. So anyway, so the Justice League are met up by some allies, and then there's this massive battle going on with Mary Marvel completely destroying everyone, but including Black Adam, mind you. And then I have no idea who these Tiger people are.
I think they're from the future guy or the Savage dude. I thought
Savage dude.
Maybe not.
Vandal?
Yeah.
I have
maybe
no idea.
not.
I'll look that up. I know I think they're associated with Shazam.
Oh, they could be. Yeah, that could be it.
So anyway, speaking of Shazam, he shows up and he's trying to get married to pop out of the anti-life. So what he does is he grabs her and then goes Shazam, and the lightning comes out and they revert back to their normal form.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, "I won't ever become Mary Marvel anymore," because she's scared of what she did.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Billy Batson? I think it's actually Freddie Freeman. Yeah, it's Freeman. I think Freeman became Shazam.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, okay. So Darkseid's legions show up and start killing people. So the League is captured on the space station. They're about to put the helmets on people, and then Black Canary has the computer turn off gravity so she can do her thing. Then what happens is the tattoo gyms are signal. So what happens is they broadcast a signal through space that's supposed to jam the anti-life equation.
Mm-hmm.
So they do that. And then so we get a nice montage of all these different so we get these spheres, and then we see Lex Luthor is watching people being executed for dissent. And then this is when Lex Luthor actually turns good and helps out for once.
Finally.
The Flash show up and decide, okay, let's go do this, but we have an idea on how we're going to kill Darkseid. We just have to get the Black Racer's attention. No big deal.
Yeah.
So Batman has broken out of his shackles.
Oh, snap. Is he confronting Darkseid?
Yes, he is, because he's Batman.
He could do it, definitely.
Yeah, so he has a gun in his hand, mind you. It's the gun that's loaded with one of those anti-New God bullets.
Oh, okay.
Darkseid tells them, okay, can you shoot me before I hit you with my Omega beams? So Batman's like, try me. Boom! He fires, and then luckily he does hit Darkseid before he gets hit with the Omega beams.
Wow.
And this is where they apparently killed Batman.
And so Batman gets it looks like he gets killed.
Looks like he gets killed. And this is what another thing this is another key point of the Justice League movie. Because what's going to happen is, and this would be in Justice League 3. After Barry Allen goes back in time and warns Bruce, protect Lois Lane at all costs.
Yeah.
What happens is when Darkseid Omega beams Lois, Bruce jumps in the way and takes the Omega beam himself.
Mm.
So in other words, Batman sacrifices himself for Lois Lane. And there's a tease. There's this funny thing where You remember in the history lesson scene of the Snyder cut, you see a dude in the back. You see the men are like burying the mother box because that's what humans would totally do. In the background, you see a dude on a horse that looks suspiciously like Ben Affleck.
Oh,
So people think, okay, I'm going to spoil this part here right now so I can keep explaining that. So Batman is actually time displaced. And in other words, he gets sent back to the beginning of man. That's what people think that is.
That'd be pretty crazy if that actually turned to be the case.
That would be hilarious. All right. So next. So what they do is they broadcast this massive signal, and Superman shows up and straight up not impresses everything. Like,
finally,
look at that.
All right, shooting. Is he killing people?
He's not killing people. He's just punching them really hard.
How is lasering and destroying building? That has to hurt someone, right?
He breaks into Darkseid's headquarters and takes out Batman's body. I think because he knows what Batman's heartbeat sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows that Darkseid, that Batman's kind of dead. They also explain it as so you may be wondering, if Darkseid was time displaced, why is there a body?
Yes, that's actually what I was just thinking.
Right. So they retcon this after the story came out that's actually a clone.
What? Okay, that is the most comic book answer I've ever heard to any.
I know, right? They literally just said, "Oh, that's just a clone of Batman." Like what? Come on, man!
Ridiculous. It would have been better if they had just said that it transported his like mind and spirit back to his past body, into the past or something like that,
Yeah.
But just to say that,
the way I would do it if I were writing the story is I would just have it where he's not there. Superman shows up to Darkseid and goes, "Where's Batman?" And then Darkseid is like, "Oh yeah, I hit him with my Omega beams. He's gone."
Right.
And then they could have still teased at the end that he's still alive. But
they
cloning?
literally said, so who cloned his body and just put it there?
Darkseid.
Why?
What they were trying to do is he was trying to make his own version of Batman that was under the control of the anti-life equation, because he knows somehow Darkseid knows that if you try to anti-life Batman, he'll find a way out of it.
Yeah.
Because he's Batman. We should do an episode on why Batman would kill everyone. Yeah. Here's an idea for a fantastic comic book series. Are you ready? Batman kills the DC universe.
Huh. Yeah, Batman could do it.
I would love to see Batman try. That would actually be really cool. It's like it's like the Justice League. It's like a dark multiverse story.
That'd be actually pretty entertaining.
So now we're on this Earth where we have a black president of the United States, and then we have President Superman.
Oh, it's
Valzad. Is it Valzad?
Valzad.
By the way, this is his debut.
Oh, this is the first time Valzad has shown up?
I'm not sure if it's Valzad. Oh no, it's Calvin Ellis.
Calvin Ellis, yeah.
Yeah, Valzad was from Earth 2. Wait. This was the first time we saw the black Superman. This is an Earth. This is an Earth where everyone's black.
I thought that I didn't realize he's a more recent character.
Yeah, because this only came out in like 2008 or so. So it's
like
12,
okay, yeah.
So he's like 13 years old, and that's young for comic book standards.
I heard about Calvin Ellis. Yeah, he's a pretty interesting character.
He's great. This is what they should be doing instead of race bending Clark Kent. Nothing against having a black Superman, but when it's a pre-existing character, there's no reason to do this.
You're dying for Cavill to come back, aren't you?
You can have that way. You can have Cavill and also do a black Superman movie. And by the way, guess Michael B. Jordan is doing his own Calvin Ellis Superman movie.
Right.
He's doing it the right way. In fact, they even asked him. Well, it was like Oprah asked Michael B. Jordan, saying, "Would you ever be interested in like playing Superman, Clark Kent?" He goes, "Well, no, because first off, the fans will freak out because you're changing a character. But there's already a pre-existing like black Superman. I'll just be Calvin Ellis." And I'm like, Jeremiah, dude.
Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting because he's like a president and everything. I guess
President of the
isn't that
United States. What better example?
Wait, so isn't that actually kind of like copying like Black Panther because like he's like a king, like kind of like the
No,
president?
he was modeled after Barack Obama.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because Barack Obama had just become president at this point.
So they literally like when they made this storyline, they're like, well, what if Barack Obama was Superman? And that's what they did?
Yep, pretty much.
Cool.
And by the way, this is Nubia, the Black Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Just so you know, because she's actually joined the Wonder Woman world like a lot.
Okay.
And by this is the ship that allows them to like travel to like all of the different universes because it uses. Okay, I'm gonna try to explain this the best I can. Actually, the Flash explained it perfectly. So, you know how the worlds will like vibrate at a certain frequency?
Yeah.
This ship allows them to hone in on the specific frequencies of different Earths.
Oh, makes sense.
So the ship comes out, and then Renee Montoya, and by the way, this is explained in a tie-in. She's been going around the multiverse assembling every version of Superman. Her idea is to just throw an army of Superman at Darkseid. That's got to work.
That's a good idea.
That's an excellent idea. I know. So then we have this. This is the multiversal watchtower. And then we see they're basically. So this is where the storyline gets kind of confusing, but apparently, so what they're doing is they're doing the Clark Kent Kal-El ship and launching it into the multiverse, like another world, because their world is dying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on here. This is kind of this part's kind of hard to like understand. Apparently, they're under attack by like. Actually, this could be an Earth where it's like the Justice League became cyborgs or something like that. I have no idea. So anyway, we see Darkseid is pissed off. I mean, Superman's pissed off. He's holding Batman in his hands. He goes, "Darkseid, you're going down."
Yeah, you can't just kill Batman like that.
And then Superman is being like mobbed.
How is Darkseid okay? I thought Batman shot him.
You can't kill Darkseid, remember?
But he used the New God bullet.
He's Darkseid.
Well,
he's weak though. He's weak though. He's weakened.
But I mean, at least he wasn't able to kill Batman either because Batman's Batman, so Batman survived.
So what happens is so you may be wondering, why are Barry and Wally being chased by the Black Racer?
Yeah.
So here's their idea. What they do is, so Darkseid shoots Superman with the bullet. So Superman like evades. The bullet goes into Darkseid, and at that same moment, the Black Racer shows up and takes Darkseid.
Really?
That's what they were doing. They figured, let's just aim the Black Racer at Darkseid.
The Black Racer could that defeat Darkseid? I mean, yes. Black Racer is insane.
Particularly when he's weakened after being shot by 2 of those bullets.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we're seeing we're basically getting a recap of everything about everything resolving.
Yeah, because they defeat Darkseid.
And what they do is that to turn off the anti-life equation, they put down a special frequency that turns it off, essentially. Okay. I think we're seeing all the different multiverses. We see Wonder Woman, the Furies, and then Wonder Woman is telling the story about how they were freed, and apparently they're I don't understand this particular part of the storyline. I never have. This is what I mean by Grant Morrison is a really confusing writer.
Yeah.
So anyway, we see Wonder Woman take out her mask and go down fighting. So here's what I'm talking about. So the Miracle Machine. So the machine was destroyed, but Superman rebuilt it because he has photographic memory, right?
Yeah.
So you know how Superman saves the multiverse?
How?
He sings.
Really?
He sings a specific note, and it restores the multiverse.
Everything has just been restored because he sung that note.
Yes. And then we
What was-
find this being called Mandrake, who's pretty much like an evil monitor. And then they're fighting, and then they go, the army of Supermen show up.
Nice.
And then they fight and kill Mandrake. And then, that singing of the song restores the multiverse. Oh,
Okay.
notice they're pulling an Earth by a chain.
Oh, yeah, I see that now.
I'm like, wait a second. This isn't the Golden Age.
Man.
So this is showing that they have a gravestone to Orion on New Genesis. So basically everything's wrapping up. And this is when, like, I believe the designate for which one lives anew. So that's Earth 51. And then everything undoes. And then we get this scene. It's with the prehistoric humans. We see a dude holding a bat belt, and he's carving a bat signal into the wall.
So Batman
that is the end of Final Crisis.
So Batman, of course, Batman was able to survive that. There's no way even Darkseid couldn't defeat Batman, honestly.
Yeah. So, what do you think of Final Crisis?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting so far. Yeah, there was definitely a lot of weird moments in some of it.
Yeah, exactly. That last part, I have no idea what the hell was going on. I think they were showing different Earths of the multiverse, but I can't be sure.
And who was that random red dude that showed up at the very end there?
That was Mandrake. He was like, you call him a random red dude, that's pretty much what he was. There was basically no setup. He just showed up.
Really?
I have no idea who he is, though. So,
man, yeah, so that was cool. And they defeated Darkseid by sending him in, kind of get captured by the Speed Force or Speed Racer.
The Black Racer basically kills you.
Yeah. So is Darkseid gone then?
No, because he's a god. His avatar body's dead.
Okay.
And then he becomes the last Airbender. Okay, I had to say that when I said exactly. Avatar. I had to say that. So yeah. So can you see kind of where this is similar to the Snyderverse?
Yeah. I mean, they didn't have Superman turning evil in it, but they could definitely work that in as a big plot.
Anti-life equation. So yeah, they could definitely do that.
Right. Actually, I do kind of see it.
Yeah, because that's basically the whole idea. Darkseid used the anti-life equation, takes over Earth, except this time he also has Superman on his side.
Yeah.
And then in this time, in the movie, it would be time travel that solves all this, and not Superman singing a note.
Right.
That's what I mean by Grant Morrison is like really like abstract in his writing, because you'll be writing and it's like, oh my god, it's like Batman randomly, oh yeah, that was a clone body the whole time, and Superman saves the Earth by singing.
Yeah.
What? There was so he had a recent Green Lantern run where he had Green Lantern punch God.
Okay.
Like fight God. I'm like, what? I don't understand this.
That is very interesting.
And I got like flashbacks to like Star Trek. I think it's like 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, why does God need a starship?
Exactly. I'm wondering still.
That's a good question though. But anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, so where does this rank in the storylines that we've discussed?
Ooh, I think I still like Doomsday Clock more.
Yeah, I like Doomsday Clock. It's between it's Doomsday Clock, Darkseid War, or yeah, definitely, and maybe Metal. But yeah, this is like my least favorite Crises. Not because it's bad or anything like that. It's just because it's really hard to understand.
Yeah, I think it's funny that it's called Final Crisis when it really just started the trend of a crisis every 2 or 3 years. So it's actually like it's kind of like the opposite of a final crisis.
It's not the final crisis. That's false advertising.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I definitely agree with you. Doomsday Clock was way better.
Yeah.
When it eventually all came out because it was delayed like years.
It was still pretty cool though. It was a pretty cool story that we just went through and kind of broke it down.
Yeah, you got to see what all the superheroes would look like if they turned evil. Like Wonder Woman becomes a female Fury.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. I like that. So, I hope you. So, yeah, this was a pretty. This was an interesting one. This is very Grant Morrison-y.
Yeah.
And this whole thing, basically, he takes abstract concepts and writes comics around them. And this one deals with the nature of evil. So yeah, so in conclusion, yeah, it was a pretty decent event of the crises. Yeah. Infinite is still my favorite. This is like below the Crisis on Infinite Earths. Let me put it this way, I don't hate the story at all. It's not. I'm not saying least favorite as in I hate the story. Yeah. It's least of the ones of the 3 that I have. This was number 3. Mm-hmm. But anyways, so. I mean, hopefully when Zack Snyder does this, he makes it easier to understand. Already the plot from what's been shown of 2 and 3 looks way easier to understand than this. Right. Superman's not singing. Batman's not cloned. Yeah. It's his son who takes over as Batman, supposedly.
Right. That's good.
So we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens if the Snyderverse is like restored or anything like that. We'll see if that post was actually something or if it's just like some joke to Snyder.
Right. We got to count that because that is pretty sus. So
because that is the $1 million question. This just happened to be there with his notebooks, perfectly framed with the turkey.
Why would that be there? Yeah. So we're gonna keep an eye on that.
We'll keep an eye on that. We will keep you guys very updated. And by the way, we will be doing a review series of Hawkeye as soon as Lad watches the first 2 episodes, which are out. And so we have plenty of great content coming up. We're planning some great stuff in December. We're planning on like a lot of cool stuff with the X-Men show, the new show, and all that. So we have lots of other content. But Barry, so Lad, real quick, where does this rank out of 10? Ooh. With me, it's like a solid 7 or 8.
I'd say solid 8. It was still really epic storyline. I just got a little confused. Maybe if I sat down and studied it a bit more, it'd be a little bit higher. But it was still a really epic storyline.
You need a full semester to understand the story.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. It's not even just that. It's so much reading that you have to do to get the full story. I only covered the 7 issues labeled Infinite Crisis. This trade, in fact, has like the Superman storyline, the Batman storyline. It's got like a lot more. That's how I knew all that other side stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the point is, hopefully this is what we're getting in live action form.
Right.
So we'll see what happens with that. I still think it's going to happen, and I think this practically confirms it. Also backed up by the fact that, and Lad and I know this, DC Comics recently updated the design for Steppenwolf, and it looks eerily similar to the Zack Snyder version.
Yeah, we did notice that. So
there's more and more. They're starting to, it's kind of funny. They don't use the Whedon cut in any of the HBO Max like marketing anymore. Never. Yeah. They did once, and that was just to promote the HD version of Craftus League is going on HBO Max.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's like Snyder cut. And they started referring to it as a global phenomenon. So I'm like, guys.
We're just going to keep an eye on it and see. Hopefully we get some, more hints. And if he does a second thing like this in a little bit,
if he does one more thing, then I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that because that'll be really crazy then.
Now every time I'm on Vero, I have to be and he posts something. I have to be like, is there anything in like the recesses of his like car?
Right.
Yeah, it's like I've become basically Batman.
Yeah, you gotta investigate.
Which is ironic because it involves Final Crisis.
Yep.
So yeah, once again, we'll keep you guys updated on what happens with the Snyderverse. By the way, before we log off, we have a website now. The link will be in the description, and there you can find like all of our podcast episodes and all the episodes for like our other shows like Uncanny Academy of X-Men, Orbital Drop Shock, Knights of Mandalore. You can find all of our shows there. You can find the YouTube version of this show, so you can see our handsome and bearded faces. By the way, lad, you have the beginnings of a nice beard.
Oh yeah, it's coming along nicely.
Yes, so we have that going on, and then you can also catch our news show as well. And and the news show is going to be, in addition to comic book news, that's going to be where we do like a lot of our reviews of like movies, TV shows and such, because that basically counts as news. And plus that way, if it's Under Two Capes news, we can kind of branch out and do like other stuff.
Yeah.
So definitely be checking out the website. Our good friend Tyler worked pretty hard on it, and it looks gorgeous. And then so in terms of the future episodes, I'm trying to put together a panel discussion of a certain topic. I'm trying to figure out what that topic will be and who I want on the panel. But we could be getting a very interesting guest on the show. I will let you go. I will keep you guys updated on that, and you will be notified beforehand of who this mystery guest may be. Just watch it be Zack Snyder. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, Henry Cavill shows up. Like it'd be like we're here talking, and then like
all of a sudden it's like no, it's like so we're talking to Snyder, and all of a sudden it turns out he had sent the link to the entire league.
Yeah.
I'm like, boy. Can you imagine if that happened? That'd be so great.
Oh boy.
I should actually reach out because he'll show up on podcasts.
Yeah, just hey, can you stop by our podcast and we just want to
explain the Final Crisis picture.
Hey, please explain to us what's going on here.
You probably would, but I'm like, okay, wink with your left eye if it's something involving DC.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, Justice League 2 and 3. I'm working on those, and they're gonna release soon. Oh!
And then it's like all of a sudden I have like these Star Wars alarm on. It's like duh.
Yeah.
I can't do a good impression of that, but I'm like,
yeah, that's what you bring it. Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, it's happening, and it's like red siren lights. We're all like, ah.
Yeah. Yep. We need to get like a buzzer or something like that, like breaking news, and we like smash a button, like a giant button, and like an alarm thing goes off, and the room lights flicker and everything, like emergency alert.
Yeah, that'd be so great. That's actually a good idea. We should have more like special effects for things.
I could probably Jimmy rig something.
Yeah, lad, you're an engineer.
I could actually do that. I could do that.
I'm expecting my Iron Man armor pretty soon, dude.
That's a little more work. I'm not sure if you'll survive the first test run, but
that's worth it for science. We do it for science, lad.
For science. All right, yeah. So we got good stuff coming ahead. So maybe some projects in the works. Some maybe special guests coming on. We're gonna let you guys know.
Yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode and somewhat understood a Final Crisis, and don't feel so bad if you didn't. I still don't. I have very much expressed that. Yep. And all right, everyone's have a good week. Actually, weekend. Stay heroic. Bye-bye.
See ya.